Back in the good old days of games transitioning to the 3D plane, a lot of established franchises and even new ones failed. One game that successfully innovated platformers to the new era was Super Mario 64. Not only did it bring new ideas for the Mario series, but it also helped inspire some current collectathon-style games. But how was Mario able to succeed while other games failed? Well, let's jump right in and find out with my review of Super Mario 64. Let's get this out of the way now. Mario 64 still takes place in the Mushroom Kingdom, but this time it's within Peach's castle. Turns out, Bowser somehow got through the unguarded front door, kidnapped Princess Peach, and stole all the power stars from the castle. Mario now has to recover the stars and save Peach, while Bowser breaks the fourth wall. While the story stays the same, the gameplay gets a massive overhaul and amplifies the great elements from Mario World. One of these elements are multiple ways to complete a level. Every level has a total of 7 stars to collect. These stars are treated as the finish line that you would see at the end of levels in 2D Mario games. This doesn't mean you need to get every single star in a level to beat the world. To complete the game, you only need 70 stars, with 120 stars total in game, and you can collect whatever star you want at any time. Some worlds and stars are blocked off until you defeat Bowser, or select certain missions in the level, but this doesn't negate the freedom the player has. If you get bored playing through a level, you can always go to another one on the same floor. Since there are multiple exits to a level, it may not be obvious how to approach a level when playing Mario 64 for the first time. When selecting a star, the name will give you a hint that makes it obvious enough where the objective is located. One minor issue is that all of these levels share the same way to get stars, and that's collecting 8 red coins and 100 coins. I say minor because some may see this as lazy, but since all the levels have different designs, it's really not. Some of the 100 coin missions are annoying though, like Hazy Maze Cave and Rainbow Cruise. There are also some secret stars scattered throughout the castle, but the quantity of them are low and easy to find. The hub of Mario 64 is nothing like Mario World. If I'm being honest, exploring the castle is pretty lackluster, but something about it is oddly satisfying. Besides the few hidden secrets in the castle, the most exhilarating parts of the hub is unlocking a new floor. Every time Mario would turn the key and unlock the door, I couldn't wait to see what the levels had in store for me next. Obviously, the way Mario moves through the levels has changed due to the jump to the third dimension. He can run and jump in any direction because of the control stick on the Nintendo 64 controller, which was a big deal at the time. However, Mario still has some new tricks up his sleeves, like a triple jump, backflip, and side flip, which all give him extra height in the air. One of the more awkward techniques is the wall jump. You have to have enough momentum in order to activate it and press the jump button at the right time to successfully pull it off. It definitely takes some getting used to, but one way to easily gain speed is the long jump. This also helps Mario make it over larger gaps. All of these new moves make it fun to explore all of the levels and to see what abilities work in certain situations. Jumping on enemies is now harder with the jump to 3D, which is why Mario has new attacks to defeat enemies with. Mario can now punch, kick, ground pound, and dive straight into his foes. So enemies are now easier to deal with, but they weren't really threatening to begin with. All they do is just run at you, and the more annoying enemies can easily be jumped over. The controls for Mario's first game into the 3D era weren't the best, but I wouldn't say it's bad. Turning around is a pain because you don't just turn around, instead you move in a half circle. It also doesn't help when the camera decides not to cooperate. It is an early 3D game, and a lot of games struggled with getting camera angles right. This does make it hard to judge if Mario is capable of making jumps or not. By now you might have noticed the lack of power-ups Mario has used in the gameplay so far. While there are power-ups present, most of them are gimmicky and don't add much overall. The 3 new power-ups Mario can obtain are the Wing Cap, which allows him to glide in the air, the Metal Cap, which makes him take no damage, and the Invisible Cap, which gives Mario the ability to travel through walls. All of these power-ups are very situational. You'll mostly use them only when it's necessary to collect a star. It's a shame that less emphasis was put on the power-ups, since that's part of what Mario is known for, but the new movement options he has makes up for it somewhat. Traversing through all the levels is awesome with the new movement because of how the level designs are so well put together. Jolly Roger Bay has a ship that sunk, but then rises to the surface to open up new stars to collect. Shifting Sandland has a pyramid with a secret entrance that opens up after you step on 4 pillars surrounding the pyramid. Tiny Huge Island changes from small to huge, and even makes it so you have to switch between being big and small. Tick-Tock Clock changes speed based on where the minute hand is placed when entering the level. Lethal Lava Land lets you go into the core of a volcano that has 2 paths you can take to different stars. All of these levels don't feel like a bunch of separate ideas stuffed into a map. Every aspect of the level complements one another and never makes it boring to explore. The progression of difficulty with these levels is better than Mario 3 and World. The beginning won't be stressful, but the later levels will start to test your skills with platformers from this era. For a launch title, a lot of these courses look decent, even for the standard of N64 games. The music isn't as good as previous games. Most of the time, the songs are more atmospheric than catchy. I will say, the most memorable song is the Bowser level. So, as a whole, Mario 64 was able to successfully bring the Mario franchise into the realm of 3D. But how do you take a game as good as this and turn it into the biggest pile of garbage? By porting it to the Nintendo DS. This port sucks. If I was forced to say one thing positive about this mess, it would be the graphics look better, but that doesn't make up for the poor gameplay. You can now choose between 4 characters, including Mario, Yoshi, Luigi, and Wario. Playing as 4 characters can work, but it's poorly implemented here. Every character has their own ability. Yoshi keeps most of his abilities from Mario World, but now he can also throw eggs at enemies. Mario is the only character that is able to wall jump, Luigi jumps the highest, and Wario just punches really hard. The game starts the player off with Yoshi, and then you're able to gradually unlock the others. Once you unlock the other characters, there's no point to using the green dinosaur anymore. In fact, there's no point in using any other character after unlocking Luigi, since you could transform into any character by collecting their hat off the ground. Luigi pretty much eliminates any challenge this game offers due to how high his jump is. All of the power-ups are also locked behind specific characters. Mario can only use the wing cap, Luigi can only use the invisible cap, and Wario can only use the metal cap. This takes away any freedom the player has, since you will have to switch characters at some point during the level, or swap beforehand if you know the star's requirements. These roadblocks ruin the cohesion the levels had. However, the worst aspect of this port is the controls. Ignoring the camera problems from the N64 version, you now have to use the D-pad to move around. The D-pad should never be used for 3D movement. You could use the touchscreen as a control stick, but it doesn't really work well. This makes platforming incredibly awkward when you combine it with a smaller screen and an unoptimized camera. So just stay away from the DS version of Mario 64. If you want to see Mario's true start into the 3D arena, just invest in an N64. The DS version did have good ideas for the game, but they should have waited before remaking this classic game. But what do I know? I'm just some random guy on the internet that decided to review every mainline Mario game. So subscribe for more Mario reviews and whatever other games I feel like reviewing, and I'll see you next time.